Welcome, everyone. This is our third session of Révolution, Dark Rituals, and Robespierre. And this is our game of revolutionary dark magic backstabbing in Paris in the 1790s, right during the French Revolution. And my name is Sam Zimmerman. I will be facilitating tonight. I am playing the character Jean-Baptiste. I have not actually given him a last name now that I look at it. But I am our diplomat who is part of the crown. And I am basically a noble in hiding who is trying to eke out a life amongst the reign of terror. And so why don't we each go around and introduce ourselves. I have Richard, Robbie, Stephen on my order here.
Okay, so I am Richard, he, him pronouns. I am playing Sabine, she, her. She is she has the speaker role, or le parleur. And she is kind of a spokesman of the people, fell from celebrity into kind of community rabble rousing, and is very resistant to the rebellion's interest in her as an asset, and has some has been kind of hinting at the power she has to rouse the people, and trying to flex those muscles a little bit.
Okay, my name is Robbie. I use he, him pronouns. I am playing Aurore, who uses she, her pronouns. She is the artist and has some connections to the aristocracy. Also has a father who thinks that I am a failure, but he clearly just does not understand the artistic visions that Aurore is trying to realize. And I guess one important bit of information from our session last week is she had started up something of a relationship with Toulouse, which who is a person of some interest for all of the characters, but we will have to see whether whether that relationship stays on track or if it gets foiled or tampered with in some way, which is already, I think, part of the mix.
Yeah, hey there. I am playing Claude, the lead investigator of the Department of Investigations. I am, and I'm Stephen, he, him, and Claude is he, him as well. Claude has been spending a lot of the time finding out people's secrets, compromising Toulouse, and most recently getting Toulouse to enter into a relationship with our lovely Miss Aurora.
All right. With that, let's quickly go over our safety tools real quick, just to remind everyone. We are using XCard. We are using open door policy. Script change is available if needed. And our lines and veils for this evening, we have lines through sexual assault and torture. We have veils on graphic gore and homophobia. And we have ask firsts for bullying, racism, human sexuality, and suicide. We also have an enthusiastic consent on classism. And with that, does anyone have a scene that they want to start off with? Particularly kind of coming off of this big moment that we had at the end of last session where Claude kind of cornered Toulouse and kind of gave him this predicament of you are actually falling for Aurore, but you need to use her to basically understand this magic that you are being exposed to and basically survive. Do we want to start there? Do we want to start somewhere else and kind of tie back into that?
Yeah, I feel like I'd
later
like to go with
session?
the latter, particularly since you and Richard, we didn't see a lot of you in that last third of the game. So I'd like to maybe get a chance to see what the two of you are up to coming out from that, and maybe we can tie it back in.
Yeah. So one of the things that kind of didn't get resolved last time that was something that we could investigate is the scene with the fishmonger, where Richard had kind of basically taken control of that scene, and now has kind of a little bit of say as to what happened there. Do we want to kind of start off with that, maybe?
Well, so I think that we had kind of pushed toward that that Sabine now has this information, like half of the note that was in question, and that it essentially made it clear that there are I wanted to let I gotta get reacquainted with character names, that Jean-Baptiste, I needed to let him know that there were kind of forces onto his cousin and the kind of noble blood connection and all that, but I don't have all the information. So
I was interested in exploring a scene with my brother because we have not had him in any scenes yet. If you wanted to have it be you went to, it would make more sense for you to go directly to him since he is the leader of our faction, essentially.
Right.
And have me be in the mix.
Okay. And to what to what extent is so your brother also knows this secret is it's in his interest to keep it?
Yeah, I think our family is fairly tight.
Okay.
So the two of us, and I believe we have a sister who also knows, but she is not particularly important in this story. And so
yeah.
What?
So your cousin is higher up in the deposed nobility's hierarchy, or your brother, you're saying?
Well, he's my older brother, and so tradition demands that he is in charge.
Right. You know what we could do? I mean, we could bring your brother into it, but it could be that just I don't as far as your brother is concerned, I don't have the clout to get into him, and so you're kind of sent to deal with me or whatever. It's
No, do you know what's even better?
Okay.
I was assigned by him to keep this under wraps.
Right.
And so I get called in because I'm in trouble now because I didn't do my job.
All right. So maybe we start with a moment of the meeting has already been going on, and you're brought in to account for this half a note. That's come up.
Steven, would you be interested in taking on the role of Jean? No, not Jean. Louis is my brother. Since you're kind of playing as the authority faction in this case.
Sure. Let me just take a quick look again at your brother's thing.
Yeah, so all I have on him is that my brother Louis is not going far enough. He attempts only for survival rather than reclamation.
Cool. Cool. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, so we have this scene that's kind of starting. I guess I can set the stage unless.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah, go ahead.
I figured this would be in Louis's rooms, but like his apartment, and so they are probably when you, because last time we established that Jean Baptiste's rooms were the height of fashion with the worst possible furniture, like basically dumpster diving furniture, but it was arranged perfectly and everything was of the modern taste. And so I think that Louis's rooms are like met in the middle. Like he doesn't really care that much, but he actually has some nice things to put up. And he's got a nice fire going, and it's a very warm kind of almost. It feels like a well lived in study almost. This room that you guys are meeting in.
And is Jean, and are we basically kind of opening in media res here with that already out, or?
Yeah, it sounds like we're starting almost in media res in terms of the conversation. So the Sabine and Louis have been talking for a little bit, and have called Jean Baptiste into the meeting to kind of have him account for what's happening.
Yeah, and you come in and Louis is pacing, kind of nervous pacing in front of the fire while I assume how is Sabine in this room? Has she like relaxing? Is she like sitting alert?
Yeah, I think what you see in a situation like this is that Sabine, when she deals with the powerful like this, has a tendency to like play up her injuries, and to like and has essentially set herself up like next to the fire, has made various requests for small accommodations, and to this point where like I think that she's good at turning like what like this mixture of like pity and everything into control. So she looks like this kind of forlorn waif almost, but really like she's trying to use that to exert some control over the situation.
John, of course, you're here. I had thought, now correct me if I'm wrong, but I had thought that you were supposed to be handling things for me, Jean.
Everything is under control, my brother, I assure you.
Everything is under control, you say? Everything is under control?
So I'm going to actually start off right away, play a card, and use the move, know someone's secret before they tell you.
Okay.
And so basically I'm saying I'm prepared, I'm aware for what's going on. Continue.
Then tell me how it is that this woman, this Miss I forget your name.
Sabine.
Sabine. Right. This Miss Sabine knows about our relation.
She knows nothing. She knows exactly what I wanted them to know because I wrote that note.
I think that, yeah, John, you wrote the note. If I may ask, dear brother, why did you write this note?
There are people in our government who are very interested in our cousin. And I've come to know this. And so by turning them against each other, understanding who is truly on our side, who is not on our side, we might seek to gain an advantage. I assure you, Toulouse is perfectly safe.
Yeah, I understand your zeal for this, Jean, but he is, however distant, our family, and I do not appreciate you endangering our relations as you do.
As I said, Toulouse is perfectly safe. I am not endangering anybody. It is you who are endangering us by not taking action.
It is merely a matter of time. Before long, the rebellion will burn itself out, and then we can act, my dear brother. But now, as to this problem that you've created for us, Miss Sabine, would you be I can assume that you want some sort of payment for your discretion on this matter.
I think, sir, that you.
It is usually what people of your class want.
I think that you mistake me, sir. I think it is not what I can do with this information. I think that that you know that the people who keep you safe from discovery are sympathetic, at least to some extent, and there's nothing to be there's nothing for the people to be gained in revealing this. It is my goal was merely to alert you as to who else has this information. This, as you see, this is one half of a note. I can't speak to what my contact knows or doesn't know about what is contained on the other half, but that other half is in the hands of people that perhaps are hostile to your interests.
I thank you, my good lady Sabine. I'm glad to know that we still have some allies who understand the value of circumspection. And he kind of gives John another glance with that.
And go ahead.
I was going to say Jean-Baptiste at this point would probably walk over and ask to see which half of the note actually got to its intended recipient.
Yeah, I think. Do you still have the note, Sabine?
I've given you the half of the note.
Yes, he hands it. He holds it out to you.
And I look at it. This is worthless. You know that, right? Without this half, this is worthless. Everything. You got your wish. And I hand it back to you. I used the name Toulouse twice. in that note, and both of them are on this half. So, congratulations. You've won. There is nothing on the other half of the note that can link anything to anyone. And I, frustrated, turns around and kind of stalks to the other side of the room.
Are you being harsher than you intended?
No, I'm giving I don't know if I'm giving I mean, I could try and destroy something. I think that's more fun. Like, I'm trying to, like, let's try and destroy the amount of patience you have with me.
Okay. Yeah, and I think
I'm just being childish and snarky and snide and
thank you for the
gentlemen,
advice, Jean.
Yes.
But
Gentlemen,
perhaps
go ahead. Sorry.
but perhaps more more perhaps wiser heads should be offering their counsel here. And he looks over at you, Sabine.
I say, you know, it is not at all my intention to sow strife among brothers or to bring back the awful times before you found safety among the people of Paris. You know, nobody wants a return to a time when you were hunted like dogs in the street with the menace of being torn limb from limb by the crowds. And I'm just kind of, you know, I'm laying this down pretty thick with reminding you how far you have to fall. And you know, I only seek to ensure that we don't have a return to these awful uncertain times.
Of course, and I'm glad to have allies such as you. And he kind of leans in close for this and whispers to you, and I may have need of a new advisor soon as well.
Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and play a card here of the Ace of Cups, and to gain his trust.
Yeah, and I think that, like, I kind of like there's chatting, like Jean-Baptiste is clearly on the outside of this, and eventually, like, Louis looks at you and says, "Oh, Jean, could you fetch us some more wine while we continue the conversation? Thank you."
Are you using a faction move right now? Because that sounds like
Crush someone with obligations.
Crush someone with obligations. Yeah.
I've really been crushing you with obligations this whole scene, so.
Yeah. I think Jean-Baptiste leaves and doesn't come back. And I would love to have a quick scene with Sabine as she's like leaving.
Yeah, I think that works. Like, I think that we kind of draw the curtain on the conversation.
Yeah.
With Louis, you know, because it's kind of, you know, it's like that room where it happens kind of idea.
Yeah.
And so yeah, like as like you've maybe lingered by the door or something in order to catch me on my way out.
Yeah. And I pull you aside, and I look at you. I don't know what your brother promised you in exchange for keeping this quiet.
Oh, you mean what your brother promised me?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know
I
what
was
my
just like,
brother. I don't know what my
Right.
brother promised you in exchange for keeping this quiet. But you're not going to get it. I'm going to make sure of that.
I assure you that my silence is not what was on offer or what was sold. Yeah, I think and that's and she's being intentionally cryptic. She kind of, I think she knows that Jean-Baptiste is bothered by having been excluded, and so she is being intentionally portentous and vague about what might have gone on, in order to kind of weaken his position.
Yeah.
Um,
Are you playing a card to do that, or
no, I don't
discussing?
have.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
So
no, I don't.
I think what I'm gonna try and do, I'm basically gonna say that there are lots of people in this city who would love to see you in two pieces. The guillotines are always hungry. And I know some of these people. And I'm going to play another card to use trap someone either physically or morally.
Okay.
And I'm basically going to say, if you get in my way again, it's going to be your last time you do anything.
Jean-Baptiste, why don't you trust me?
Why don't I trust you? I don't trust anyone. The last time let's just leave it at I don't trust anyone.
It is such a shame when one finds trust. It is a fine and comforting thing, and it saddens me to think that poor Jean goes through this without support, without help. But I suppose it is Jean's choice to do so, and she kind of like haughtily makes her way to leave.
Okay. I like that. I like that end. I feel like our characters do not like each other one bit. But I am acting in the interest of my own survival, so if you get a point of power for that. Does somebody else have a scene that they would like to show? Robbie, you are not part of that one. Does Aurora want to have a scene somewhere?
At some point, another scene with Toulouse, I think, would be interesting. I'm not sure. Is it worth doing that right now, or And I mean, I guess you know, another Aurora has this brooch that has the family crest of Jean Baptiste. But I'm not sure that right now, like a scene with Jean Baptiste would be you know, I think for me, that I guess the scene that seems most interesting would be something that would put Toulouse on you know, and
I have a thought.
Mhm.
I think that Claude comes to your studio. Like, what does your studio look like, Aurora?
I think that Aurora's studio on the inside has at least some clear marks of elegance, but I think on the outside, like where she would have her studio, you know, I think it would be like an area of town. Let me go take a quick look at our locations here. You know, it might be, well, I mean, we have the tenement in Montmartre. So you know, maybe, you know, that would be a decent place. And I think it's in a tenement that, you know, seems you know, somewhat, not particularly nice on the outside, but I think you kind of open up the door to her studio, and you know, that it seems unexpected, right? Somebody walking in there would not expect, right, some of these kind of signs of finery that she keeps in there.
And I think that Claude comes like calling to your studio and knocks on the door.
And Aurora comes to the door, unlatches it, opens it up a little bit to see who it is, and she kind of cocks her head and says, "Claude, what brings you here?"
Yes, I simply have been troubled of late, and what with our chance meeting the other night, I thought to myself that if anyone would be able to help with my moral predicament, then perhaps it might be my dear friend Aurora.
Aurora smiles a little bit and says, "Claude, you strike me as somebody who has many predicaments, but moral predicaments, that seems a bit unexpected." And she opens up the door and says, I'm willing to listen to you. You have me a little intrigued by this moral predicament. Tell me more."
Oh yes, well you see, I have a friend. I cannot name him for you, since it would be quite a scandal if he is quite prideful about this sort of thing, and would never want anyone to know about his illness. But I have a friend. He is, let's say a judge, a war hero, many things. but he is suffering from an illness related to the miasm, and I have obligated, I am in some sense, you know, as a friend, obligated to, seek out help for him, even if he does not want it. Don't you think?
The miasma, this gets more and more intriguing every time you speak. Well, certainly, if the miasma is at issue, some type of assistance is needed. Let me also just add, in terms of part of the setting, Claude, I think you would note that Aurore has been working on a canvas. The paint is still a little bit wet. You can kind of see the sheen of it. And it is, last session, she had worked up this quick little sketch of Toulouse. She's now kind of producing this isn't going to be the final thing, but she's kind of working on that idea. So you definitely kind of see this, off to the side, something that she's been working on, which is the Toulouse painting, making him out to be some type of kind of heroic character.
Toulouse is just this timeline's Napoleon. Yeah, I think that. So anyway, what did you actually say in response?
but yeah, my response is in some type of agreement. She says, I would like to hear more about this affliction, but I certainly would agree that if the miasma was the at issue, this certainly deserves some careful attention.
No, but no matter how I talk to him about it, I should say my friend, would never accept my help. And that was in character.
Yes. Let me give me 1 second here.
Can I ask a quick clarifying question?
Mm-hmm.
Does Aurore know or believe that she can control the miasma?
I mean, according to
we've established that Claude thinks she can.
Okay, because I wrote down that Aurore believes they can. Maybe I was mistaken about the answer there.
I the way I would put this is, it is certainly her optimistic hope that
Okay.
she would be able to get some.
Okay.
She
So
may now, admittedly, as the player, she may be a little diluted in this, but
okay. I would like to use a faction move right now, which is introduce a lavish, unique, rare, or specialized item, and say that Aurore has a mechanism that can control the miasma.
that sounds good. Like, what would the mechanism be? I mean, is it?
We want to lean into the magic, so I'm thinking like basically this very intricate alchemical orb type deal with all these individual moving parts and little crystals inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're muted.
Yeah, if I can make a suggestion, it might be that like you have a a bottle of blown glass that contains like some of this miasmic essence that like you have been able to make this isolated amount of it like respond to your thoughts or your will in some way. That that like it seemed it might be you just like like a Rorschach test when you like, but you're like gazing into this miasma and seeing things and everything, and it's like to you it feels very much like something is definitely going on, and and it does seem to like react when you touch the glass or whatever, but it's not, you just see it react to your presence, and that it's it offers the promise of more control.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, I like this idea, yeah, of it like some type of colored glass, and there's also maybe a bit of a kind of version of kind of crystal gazing that kind of goes on, like that I look into the colored glass and believe that I'm somehow getting kind of in tune with it.
Yeah. So what do you do?
Well, okay, and she's picked up on the little slip of the tongue, and she stops and gets very serious now and says, "Come, Claude, let's dispense with the veil of fiction. So Toulouse is the subject of this conversation."
You read me too well, Aurore.
And what exactly do you know about Toulouse's connection with the miasma? You say he has some affliction as a result of this?
It grows stronger with each passing day. In others, it is a quick and it is a quick and, I cannot say painless. It is probably extraordinarily painful, but it is quick death. In Toulouse, it is slow. It grows with exposure, but it nevertheless grows on its, it grows faster with exposure, but it grows nonetheless.
I see. Well, this certainly is a revelation. She looks back at the painting that she has started, and she gives it a careful look. And she says, well, with this information, that there is obviously completely wrong. It does
But
not.
you may. Oh, go ahead.
No, it clearly does not capture what Toulouse is becoming. Would you agree?
I would agree. But I do not know if he will survive this process, whatever it is. But perhaps with the help of someone like yourself, he just may.
Aurora steps over to the painting, and she takes a scalpel, like kind of like one of the things she would use to like mix up the paint, and she slashes through the painting, destroying it. And she says, well, my art takes many forms. This that I've destroyed is perhaps a lesser form, but I see that I need to up my game when it comes to lose. I do have a question as to what is motivating you to come to me with this information. What is the game that you're playing?
Why? It is merely a sense of friendship and duty, of course, to a dear friend. And I am totally provoking the suspicion of my peers. So you completely see through that.
Yes. Well, yeah. Any discussion of genuine friendship on the part of Claude, I think. But Aurora, she says, "Oh, of course. I see that you are somebody whose heart is genuine." Well, I certainly will do what I can to attend to Toulouse. Is there anything else that you think I should know, or any other advice that you would give me in terms of how I should proceed?
How are you vulnerable? What gives away how you're vulnerable in this moment? Do you sincerely love Toulouse, perhaps?
I think I do, but I think what makes me vulnerable now is that I am wavering between that love, but also my desire to kind of expand my control of the miasma, my understanding of the miasma. And so I know that in terms of my approach to Toulouse, I'm going to probably need to make a painful decision.
And I kind of look at you. Love and art both lie in the direction of Toulouse, my dear Aurora. With my help, with my help, you can achieve one or the other. And I think that that's where I'd like to end the scene there.
Yeah. And and I think as like the last shot, she keeps that bottle like in a back closet, and I think you just see her kind of take that colored bottle and is kind of looking down at it, and clearly kind of emotional and perplexed as to which direction she should go.
Yeah, and I think I have pursued undermine and compromising the rebellion.
Yeah, I would agree. I did mess up my art, so I'm going to pull a card for messing up my canvas.
You have also managed perhaps to also get me to serve your ends at the same time. Because in the end, I did like, oh, I will help you achieve this.
Yes. Yeah.
So you'd increase your power by 1.
Right.
And actually, can you mark more than 1 power for a scene?
No, so you
Okay.
you get 1 at the end of the scene.
Okay.
The only time that's different is if somebody yields the scene, and then only the person who got yielded to gets a second
Okay.
for that.
Because I was also going to say there's also the motivation of magic. Oh, no, that's the trodden, though. Never mind. I was misreading that.
All right, so we are right about at the top of the hour, which is probably a good spot for a 7-minute break. Be back at 5 after.
Okay.
Good.
Sounds good. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Welcome back, everyone. So, so far I've started a scene and Robbie has started a scene.
I have a potential scene. I think I'd like to put Sabine back out in the square in the morning of the next day. She's trying to juice the turnout for what's coming that evening, but she's just out in the same square. She kind of has a place that she's known to gather, and people know that they're in for a show when she when her entourage comes out and sets up the wooden box that she leans against and all these other things. And I think as she's getting into it, anyone who wants to be involved can. She'll be inclined to pull people in to make her point, or to turn someone into the object lesson or whatever. So she's in the square. This is like probably around like 9 or 10 a.m. As people are starting to go about their business, and she says, our very
Quick before we start.
yes.
So going back to the rules for setting a scene, what
Yes.
other faction are you bringing in?
I would say it's there's I think the Saber is a good chance at being involved, because this is the kind of demonstrating in the public square.
Potentially also the crowd represents more the rebellion and not is played by the rebellion and not the trodden in this.
Yeah, because we've already had a scene with you doing this and having the saber.
Right.
I'm interested to see what the revolution.
This could be like this could be her kind of coming into conflict with the revolution. Because, well, I mean, essentially, yeah, Sabine's plan is to start calling out the revolution, and that's going to be the essence of her speech. So yeah, I think that this is Sabine calling out the revolution, and she says, and I don't know how like, it could be literally Aurora again, or it could be someone stepping in to speak for to be the foil on this.
Yeah, the other idea is that one of the characters that we haven't really seen yet, but that Aurora has a connection with, is an influential philosopher. And this might be a philosopher whose ideas have been propelling the revolution, has kind of given some type of weight to, like, some type of like philosophical weight, or at least people in the revolution, they may not fully understand his ideas, but they kind of like the idea that there's some type of philosophical veneer that is kind of behind them, kind of justifying their plans.
All right, so Sabine is in the square, and she is saying, she's laying out the ways in which the revolution harnessed the people to secure its ends, and how as soon as it is, and we were the very fuel that burned in the fires of revolution, and now that they have achieved their pedestals of power, they only seek to secure it, and not to complete the job that they began and promised to finish. And now, even as they secure in their knowledge that the people are that they are secure in the hearts of the people, they turn their eyes to other sources of power, and she kind of gestures down the hill toward the miasma. Is someone wanting to?
I mean, I could bring the philosopher in, and
Okay.
so we'll give him the name Roland.
Okay.
And I don't know that Sabine would she know this philosopher be a new.
I mean, she did live in, she moved in, higher culture circles before she kind of was cast out. So this is someone that she might be familiar with.
Yeah, so and maybe he'll begin by introducing himself, and maybe like the name is one that people would know as like this is a philosopher whose ideas kind of get referenced, and Roland says, well, every group has its role to play. This is not some kind of competition of one select group that is going to become the new aristocracy. Nothing like that is what is needed. However, with something as grand and as revolutionary as what this country is accomplishing, certainly some people need to be at the helm. One cannot have a ship that just kind of is like sailing forth without anybody to guide it.
Roland, I remember. I remember you from better days, and it does seem to me that there are certain people who find themselves in this position of advantage. I know that you now make much out of your associations with the influential and powerful in the coffee houses and those who plotted revolution. But I also recall that you did not turn down the fine dinners and the patronage of the powerful, and I think perhaps you feather your nest and are simply pleased to find yourself in the pocket of whoever has control of the ship.
You're Roland says, "Ah, I see. The classic ad hominem argument. You have no kind of substance to what you have to say, and so you would simply pick up some mud and sling it in my direction. Uh, all sorts of people have been drawn to my ideas, and some of those people, they come from different walks of life. So if you are casting aspersions upon me simply because various groups have found that my ideas ring true, well, I stand guilty as charged. Yes, people from all walks of life have kind of seen the wisdom of my ideas, and my ideas about this kind of new world that we are bringing about.
And all I'd say is that all one needs to do to find you, Roland, is to look for those in power, and then over their shoulder at who whispers in their ear.
Come, I don't. I whisper in people's ears. I don't whisper. There's nothing kind of secretive about me. I have published my ideas. I have proclaimed my ideas openly, and certainly anybody who kind of finds those ideas to be satisfying and fulfilling, I'm more than willing to kind of listen to them and to discourse with them.
Oh, Monsieur Roland, I am sure that your ideas are highly stimulating to those who have the luxury of buying your published works rather than bread. But and I, Sabine is fully playing, like, she's not playing to defeat Roland on logical grounds. She is trying to turn the crowd against him through whatever rhetorical dirty tricks she can muster. And so it's just it's unseemly to think that we should all simply those of us who cannot afford the leisure or the resources to sit and read and ponder your learned argument should simply trust you and those you serve to make the right decisions on our behalf.
I mean, what I'm imagining is that Sabine certainly has people in the crowd who support her, right? That she's and partly because she's kind of known in this area. I think Roland has kind of appeared, and people maybe have heard of him. But I think as this is developing, I think you probably in the crowd kind of start to see that the crowd is kind of pulled apart in the two directions, right? That you have the supporters of Sabine versus the supporters of Roland. Roland.
Oh yeah, he got her on a debate club technicality. Yeah, they applaud.
Yeah, but yeah, I do think I will do that move, surround someone with their enemies, because I think as this is developing, Roland now has around him a group of revolutionary supporters And I think it is kind of apparent to Sabine, right? Roland may not have all of the crowd, but he certainly has a significant portion of this crowd that is kind of backing him. And you know, Roland says to Sabine, well, we are certainly kind of engaged in a battle of ideas, but ultimately the only battle that matters is the battle that is won, you know, with hearts and souls and blood on the streets. And I don't think it does the cause of the revolution any good to kind of sow dissension. I mean, we are thinking about big ideas that will encompass the entire society ultimately.
I think it is convenient to speak of abstractions like the hearts of the people, the hearts and blood, without addressing whose hearts it is that pump that blood that is spilled on the street in the name of these ideas. And I am not talking about a conflict of ideas or of societies, but of survival, but of bread, but of harnessing the forces that seek to enslave us. And when I look at the revolution, all I see is another set of masters waiting for the key to be delivered from one hand into the other, the key to the chains that bind the common people.
Ah, you speak of powerful forces, and certainly when we speak of forces that would guide the direction of the people around us, the forces that would guide where France ultimately will go, you know, the forces that will propel us to our destination. There is perhaps yet another force that we have barely even started to see the power of. And when he says this, he takes a glance down towards the miasma. And not so that the entire crowd can see it, but certainly so that Sabine can see it, right? He gives a little nod over to that direction.
Oh, you mistake me, Monsieur Roland, if you think that I work in subtleties. This is not. I speak of the miasma, and I make no bones about it. And I say that when we talk about these forces and these what would we say? The spirit of the age. This is simply a way of, when we talk of guidance and not of self control, of self actualization, then we are really speaking of surrendering our freedom and surrendering the prospects for our survival to from one master to another. And I say that when I look at the miasma as you in the revolution see it as a mechanism for entrenching yourselves and taking the role of new masters. And I say that just as you exploited the people, you exploit the miasma, and the miasma and the people are one. Nous sommes le miasme. And she starts a chant of that, as the scene kind of devolves into chaos.
Yeah, and I think as this happens, Roland kind of turns to his supporters and not so that Sabine can hear him, but he says, "Well, she has certainly stirred the pot, but the miasma, that is ultimately the source of power. We must do, let us quickly depart from this chaos, this pandemonium that is emerging around us, and let's head down to the miasma to make sure that we have secured it, perhaps for the ultimate pandemonium that will bring about the true revolution." And he's trying to kind of gather his people then to kind of head down to make sure that the revolutionaries have, have their position, kind of securing that place for the purposes of the revolution.
Yeah, and you hear as they're heading off, Sabine is reminding people to return to the square an hour before sunset, to hear how we might seize the power for ourselves.
All right. So that sounds like end scene there.
Yeah.
All right. That's fun.
All right.
Steven, do you have an idea? If not, I have an idea that I want to throw forward.
Sure, go ahead.
What is our group's opinion on sex position? Good old Game of Thrones. Have a scene like immediately after sex has just happened.
I'm
fine with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I think it would be very interesting to have Jean-Baptiste and Jean
Okay.
have their relationship be a little bit more than just partners in crime.
Okay. Oh, this is gonna be awkward after earlier.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So is this back at Jean Baptiste's place?
I want to see where Jean lives.
Oh, okay. Oh, so yeah, let's see, like Jean probably, like, given he is not a high ranking official in the department, so I imagine that he probably has a rather cheap kind of smallish apartment in one of the like probably not the worst parts of town, but it's definitely not one of the best parts of town either.
Okay. So it's this kind of smallish, maybe like a studio type deal. Yeah, I like that. And I love the dichotomy of that with Jean Baptiste, who's always trying to be super fancy and trying to look impressive, even if he isn't.
I'm sorry about before, but the position comes with certain responsibilities.
Yeah. So, what is the scene here? I like the scene of one of us like up getting a drink of something, and the other person is still in bed.
Yeah, I think John was getting you a drink.
Okay, I like that. And I kind of roll over and look at you, I know it comes with the territory, but did you really have to just barge in like that? You caught me unawares.
Well, I had thought that you enjoyed when I barge in on you unawares.
Ah. Yeah, not when I have guests. It's a little different. He's Jean Baptiste is definitely chuckling at all of this. And I sit up and come and join you by the wine decanter that you have. You know, this work is keeping you so busy nowadays, and I don't even get that much time with you. What are you even doing? More boring paperwork? You know, this is more fun.
Oh. Yeah, no, I'm just thinking of like how far I want to say before it turns into ERP. So I'll leave some stuff up to imagination, but yeah. Of course, but my master is insistent and quite forceful, and he gives you a smile.
Well, if you're the one saying that, then I do not envy you for having to deal with him. But
He
no.
really is. I can't say why, but he is taking, I don't know, an interest in you, Jean-Baptiste.
Oh, really? I didn't think he was the type.
No, if only it were that way, it would mean less work for me. He and I'm just taking a look here. Yeah, he has put out some feelers of a reward. This was fun, but I think that you may not want to show your face too publicly around Paris these days.
What, are you going to turn me in?
Oh. If it got me a promotion, maybe. But as long as Claude is there, there's no promotion in my future, so you're safe.
And as long as Claude is there... Sorry, how do I want to phrase that? And if Claude wasn't there, then there would be no bounty, so... I think I want to spend a card here.
Sure.
And use the move Speak Frankly and Make a True Connection. And I come up and kiss Jean on the back of the head and just say, I know we were joking, but I trust you would have more discretion or more respect for our relationship than turning me in for a promotion.
Yeah, I think he presses his back into you, kind of leaning back, and says, "You have my protection, Claude. I'm not Claude. Sorry, Jean-Baptiste. Just mix up character names. At least what protection I can offer."
I think that's good, unless somebody else wants to chime in with a faction move to mess this all up. I got what I wanted out of the scene.
Yeah,
which is
I'm fine with that.
okay. I got the protection that I wanted, so.
Oh.
Nope.
Okay. Does somebody else have a scene they would like to do? Looking at relationships, looking at NPCs that we haven't talked to yet. If there's a move that you want to do and haven't had a chance to use.
Oh, I mean, this is me going for the throat after that scene, but I would like a scene with Jean. Like what was that?
Claude and Jean-Baptiste?
No, just Jean.
Just John. Okay.
Like I am among, like there are the, like there I am among the oh, what's the word? Like among the desks of the under investigators, the people that work in the department, and I stop at John's desk, and I guess Sam, if I could have you take up John.
Yeah, I can do that.
Now,
Can I help you?
yes, John, I was just wondering if there was anything you would like to talk about your relations with a Sabine who has managed to attain documents from this department.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, come now, Jean. I'm sure that you could. Oh, just let me know which of your cohort passed it on to her. Place the name into my hands, and there will be nothing. To fear from me.
I believe Jean is legitimately confused at this point because I don't think Jean has had any relationships with Sabine?
Well, fictionally, we know that somebody passed on documents from my department to Sabine at some point.
Yeah.
Which is why I was doing this.
Yeah. So I think that Jean is legitimately just like, it wasn't me. I don't know what you're talking about. And I think I'm going to use the move, subtly remind them of their lowly station by saying that I'm sorry, Claude. I can't help you. If you want to go and ask the council for more funds to try and track down this person and explain to them why you lost important documentation and weren't secure, then I'm sure that they would be happy to listen to you.
Jean. And as I stare down at you, you get the sense of the imperious gaze of the angel of judgment passing over the decision of whether to lift you up into heaven or condemn you to hell. And I'm discovering a secret, and I pull out a note that had passed between you and Jean-Baptiste. I know about Jean-Baptiste, and I know about why you have failed to bring him in when I asked. Does John say anything, or is he just silent? Or is Sam disconnected?
No, I'm here.
Okay, sorry.
I'm here.
No, I'd like to maybe interject something.
Sure.
I think that this is like Jean is in a position to make this get ugly, and essentially like he's been in this department long enough to know that like you have to have dirt on everybody, and so he has dirt on Claude as well. He can press back with.
I think what I'm going to, yeah, I think instead it's more along the lines of, I think that I like that idea, and I like that the dirt is literally just everyone hates Claude.
Okay.
Like all of the understudies hate the fact that he's seemingly obsessed with this one case and won't work on anything else and leaves all the other hard cases up to the rest of us. He doesn't help out with the way, like the rest of the workload. And I kind of want to, I've been playing that up the whole time. Like Jean is definitely trying to depose Claude. We kind of established that from the beginning. Yeah. And I think this is a decent spot to bring that up. And it's just like you are like, you find yourself looking, like everyone in this room is now looking at us. And Jean is just like staring up at you, smiling.
I look down at John, and with a sweeping gesture, I just plow all the things off of his desk onto the floor. Jean, Do you think that I am as lowly a creature as yourself? A creature of so little morality and knowledge of the world that I could be pushed around by you. I will destroy you, Jean. I will lay bare and burn your little petty career to the ground, and there will be nothing left of you. So run, and I am playing my swords to destroy something violently. I am violently destroying Jean's career.
I love it. That is a great use of that.
And I kind of take in one hand, take your face in my one hand, and then give you a backhand across it to leave you bleeding from one cheek, and take that and show it to your little master Jean. There is one justice in this city, and it is this office's own.
I love that end scene there. Do we want to do another scene before we take a break, or is this a good spot for a 10-minute break? Be back at the top of the hour. Sounds good. All right. I will see everyone in 9 minutes at this point. Hello, everyone. So, where do we want to go from here? I've been in a couple of scenes in a row, so I'm fine not being in a scene for a little bit.
Yeah, as have I.
The other, I guess the other thing is that Richard, you said you really wanted to have kind of the ending scene.
Yeah, I'm not hung up on it if it doesn't happen, but
Yeah.
I'd like to. Yeah.
So do we want to have a different scene before that, or do we want to give you another opportunity to get some power and break the tie?
Well, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't object to that.
I mean, I know that you're pursuing magic, and that this is something that certainly I'm suddenly forgetting her name.
So that
Aurora is pursuing, so it's perhaps something that puts your two characters on a point of collision.
That is true. We also haven't seen Sabine and Toulouse in a scene together.
True.
That's true. That's true. And actually, like that scene, if someone wanted to portray Toulouse, I think I could. I think that she would have a strong interest in seeing him before this impromptu rally she's set up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we want to have Sabine show up in the middle of Toulouse and Aurora being together? And combine everything.
Yeah, I like let's see. Yeah, I think so. I think that can work. Sabine is like she's coming into this scene really very much needing Toulouse to be willing to play into her playing into her plans.
Okay.
Okay, so this would Yeah, I mean, what situation would Sabine find them in if she came to where he's staying?
Because for Aurora, I think one of the things Aurora is trying to do is to sort out her emotions and her, you know, her allegiances or her goals, right? I mean, she has personal feelings for Toulouse, but now, right, that's also, she also kind of realizes that there's this power of the miasma that she's very interested in, and she's feeling like she needs to decide where ultimately she's going to kind of come down on that. So
what might work well is that at least for the beginning of this, like Sabine doesn't know that Aurora is there. She's not aware of the relationship, so she ends up revealing something, and then like it can lead to to a conversation. So I think like maybe we're at Toulouse's apartments or whatever, and
I was kind of interested in seeing this in a public setting. Like,
okay.
Sabine and Toulouse are out on a date or something like that, and Aurore and Toulouse are out on a date, and Sabine is like following him, and I'm supposed to meet Aurore here, something like that.
I mean, maybe I'm wondering if Aurore and I'm just looking at our locations again, and I wonder if during this date they are walking by the Bastille, right? As this kind of right,
the powder keg, yeah,
the powder keg.
I do like Richard's idea of your Aurora is not there at the beginning, so maybe we're supposed to meet at the front of the Bastille, and I'm there early.
Yeah.
I like if I can suggest something that's kind of like this is a garden kind of area where that's like designed for people to meet, have assignations, that kind of thing, where Sabine has followed Toulouse there because like once he's alone she can approach him and speak, not knowing that that he's planning on meeting somebody. And so she comes up and thinks that they have privacy, and then Aurora can kind of show up and overhear and then interject when
appropriate.
when it's appropriate. Yeah,
I love that. Yeah, so I think you find Toulouse in this kind of like park where I'm imagining like kind of like a hedge maze almost. Mm-hmm. So there's lots of twists and corners and places for people to hide,
like marble benches scattered around.
So I think there's a marble bench between these two like cherub statues that are they're both doing the typical like peeing into the water nonsense that they like doing. And so I'm just sitting on this bench like looking around waiting. And you turn the corner and you see my face light up for a second and then confusion.
Okay, and Sabine is too single-minded to really pick up on it, and she approaches him and says, we have not had the chance to speak since that day.
Do I know you?
Yes, I am Sabine. I drew the lots that selected the ill-fated expedition of which you were a part.
Oh.
And I have been racked with uncertainty and guilt, trying everything I can to see what this means to have had a hand in dooming so many, and yet to have brought you to such a height through mere happenstance. And it was not until I had a fateful dream that revealed all to me. And she essentially lays out this like mildly irrational theory about how Toulouse is represents what is best in the people, and that with his help we can harness the miasma that is, it really is the manifestation of the will of the people, and all will be restored and all will be made whole. And all I need is for you to
Toulouse is definitely staring at you like, this. What is this crazy person doing sitting next to me? Where's your tinfoil hat? Like,
okay, so yeah, and now I'm gonna play a card. And hold on a moment. Yeah, I by the way, the card I am playing is the Hanged Man. And I'm using that to have Toulouse trust me. My zeal has an effect. It's like there's an intensity, there's something. And as he's talking and he's about to turn away, I like grab his hand and I press my hand into the franc that's in his palm, and that's kind of this moment where he has this like, and like there's this, something happened when that contact was made, and that she knew that was there, and when she touched it, there was some kind of connection that made him buy into what she's selling.
I think the buy-in is like, that hurts. That hurts like hell.
Yeah.
You're basically just like pumping more miasma into his bloodstream, and so you're like saying, "Trust me or else."
Well, and I think it's almost as though she is speaking to the miasma.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. It's like, it's about like, that like, no, she like knows this, and this is she's created this like connection. She like sees him as a conduit to for this. And so yeah, she's like, it's a very like intense, like, no, you are the key, and this is going to happen, and is Aurora gonna?
Yeah, I think that's a good spot.
Yeah, I was thinking. Yeah, I was looking for the most awkward moment that would, but this I think would be a good awkward.
I love the scene of you coming in and Toulouse is like screaming in pain.
Yes, and Sabine still holding his hand. Yes, and Aurora, who had been kind of looking around a little bit for where is Toulouse, finally hears the conversation and kind of comes in and says, Toulouse, Sabine, what is happening? I didn't know you knew each other.
I just met this woman, and she starts torturing me. I have no idea who she is. Do you trust me in that?
Do I trust you?
Because you know Sabine.
Oh yeah, I do know Sabine, right?
Yeah, we go back.
Yes. Yeah, I think I'm confused, but I think I'm willing to hear you out. I'm not. I would say I'm not distrustful of you, right? But I want to kind of get to, the bottom of what has been happening, and she'll kind of take quick steps over to Toulouse, and it seems like you were grimacing in pain, and she says, what's wrong? What did she do to you?
It's nothing. She's very forceful.
And Aurora will take, kind of take your arm where you're kind of with that hand is, and say, can I see?
Have I showed this to you?
I think
because Claude came in and was the first one to tell you, oh, he's sick, he's dying.
Right.
So maybe this is also your first time seeing this.
Yeah, I think so, because you would try to hide it from me, perhaps, right? Yeah. So she's come up and she's holding you by the arm, but she can see that that hand is in pain, and she says, "Can I see?"
You won't trust me if I don't. And he finally opens his hand up, and you can see that the coin is almost like pulsing black, and all of the veins in his hand are like engorged and pulsing, and he can barely open his hand more than just a claw.
She gently will reach out to. She says, it'll be okay, and she gently reaches out to kind of touch the palm, and if Toulouse allows that, she also starts to kind of move her hand right along some of the veins. And
is this sharing a moment of intimacy or frank connection?
I think it is becoming that. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna draw a card for that. But yeah. So
but you're playing Toulouse right now.
Yes, you're right. So, I think that this, how does Sabine react to this? Touching moment happening in front of her.
Yeah, actually, she is going to pour cold water on it.
Of course.
She says, Aurora, you needn't worry. Take what vulgar pleasures you need from him. He knows his duty to himself and to his people. And she kind of looks meaningfully at him as she walks away, trying to give the impression that there's something that Sabine can touch that she never can.
Yeah, and I think Aurore, as Sabine is walking away, says to Toulouse, Sabine and I have a history, and she uses the term vulgar, but she is the vulgar one. She stands up for those who are vulgar. Come Toulouse. I think we have much to discuss. Let's go to my studio.
Oh, so that's where this is going. Okay. Right off the bat, no date, I guess. Yeah. I think that's a good kind of end scene there. I do like that scene. Steven, do you have an idea?
So also, just to clarify for me mechanically, when you decided to draw a card, like I was just a little bit confused what was happening there.
Yeah, that was me. That was me
Okay.
forgetting my own rules. You're good.
Okay.
So yeah, you weak moves and strong moves are only when your character is in the scene. Faction moves are whenever you want, even if you're not in the scene.
Okay. I was just curious. I was just also confused because it's also one of your strong moves, not a weak move.
Is that? No. So I was activating his bargain.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Aurora has a bargain when they share a moment of intimacy or frank connection.
Oh, okay. I was confusing it with your speak frankly and make a true connection.
No.
Okay. Yeah, what do I want to do here? Does anyone have any ideas? Because I don't particularly have like an idea for a scene.
So you can look at other people's bargains, see if they have a bargain that you want to engage with.
Oh yeah, I hadn't thought of that.
You could look at any of your moves if you want to focus on a move and like kind of build towards it. You could one thing that I've found very useful is just start off a scene with a faction move, just like arrest someone. Boom, there's a scene.
Sure, we've been building up to this for a while. I think we open in like the halls, in like one of the inner chambers of the hall at the Department of Investigations, and we have Jean-Baptiste there, in manacles.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay. Do we want that, or do we want to be more violent than that and just have like the cold open? You have like he gets tossed onto a cell floor type deal.
I mean, I guess it's just up to you, since like this also feels like the kind of move that you would also be able to like push back on anyway.
So I do like like following the scene of you have me behind, like I get thrown in in jail, and then we loop into next time me calling in that favor I have on Aurora
Okay.
and getting me out of this,
Well,
because I think this sets that up pretty nicely.
I have a thought of a way you could trigger one of your weak moves that is dark, but also might be like we kind of get the moment of you being thrown into the jail, and
Mhm.
Claude is kind of steps in haughtily. Well, Jean-Baptiste, I'm so glad we could finally meet face to face.
And I scoot my knees up and kind of very awkwardly kind of clamber up, trying to stand after like both of my knees have been scraped raw, and leaning on like a bench that's in this cell.
I should let you know that Jean did nothing to turn you in. He was just stupid.
What do you want from me?
Let's not get to that yet, because you know, it was foolish, this relationship uh with Jean, but I think there was perhaps some real feeling there. It can hurt to lose the ones we care about. I have some experience with that. I look at you pointedly. Uh, it would be a shame if something were to happen to Jean.
This is exactly the moment for be harsher than you intended, and I'm gonna lash out at you from that.
Yeah. Okay. Yep, you do that in the face. You smack me in the face. How are you lashing out at me?
I Is this I grab you by the front of the shirt and push you against the bars of the cell, or are you on the inside or the outside?
I think I am on the inside with you.
Yeah, okay. So I like grab you by the collar and just kind of like roughly push you backwards into the bars of the cell. If you know what's good for you, you won't touch him.
And if you know what is good for Jean, you will tell me where your brother is. And I'm kind of wondering, is this a place where you could use your weak move, find your humanity? Because this is a moment where like, this is what you can do, what you actually care about, help the person you actually care about, or help the person who's useful to your career.
Yeah, so because I have two weak moves here that pull me in two different directions, because I have find my humanity, which is potentially like I still love my brother and I won't turn him in.
Yeah.
And I have accept the bad end of a deal, which is very much I turned my brother in so that
I mean, it could also be find your humanity, could also be turning your brother in because you actually love.
I actually care about John.
Yeah.
Oh, this is good. I don't know. I think this is I think I turned my brother in. I think this is like I give up the crown for this. yeah, I have a question. What deal pushes me too far? And this is it. So yeah, I think that as you say that, I just kind of like you see my face go white as you say that, and my grip loosens to the point where you can just kind of reach out and just push me away, and I stumble backwards away from you. And I think that it's more of a do we I kind of like the idea of having it be an off camera thing where you just like think about it and turn and leave, and it's
Oh,
just
I
me
think I
hanging
have
my
a,
head there.
oh,
Yeah, go ahead.
because I think if you do say it, I kind of, just to build off that history we have a little bit more, I would say something like, if it's any consolation, I believe that you made the right decision. And I kind of sigh and leave a bit somber. Because I did fuck over someone I love for my career.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That's good. All right. I think this is the point in the session where we turn the camera over to Richard, because you've been building this thing up the whole time, and I definitely don't get any power from that. I
Yeah.
got the very
Yeah,
much.
I did fulfill though my relationship with the crown, which is seeks to capture and control.
Yep, definitely makes sense.
Okay, so this, and I just kind of described the scene as it unfurls.
So that is entirely up to you. This can be I narrate a scene for everybody. It can be I want a scene that goes in this direction. Let's pull in a couple of people and let's walk through the scene, and where we all know we're going to end in this spot.
Right. Okay, so basically I'm gonna jump into narrating, and then if anyone has ideas or flourishes or anything that they want, feel free to, like, jump in or whatever. But essentially this is like just before sunset, people have gathered in the square. Sabine has been setting this up for the past couple days, and there's a lot of anticipation to it. And she begins talking. She says, my fellow citizens, my brothers and sisters, I was not painting pretty pictures or operating in the world of symbols and abstractions when I said that we are the miasma. This very thing represents the power of the people, and it is just the greed with which all those in power have sought to seize it. It's just laid bare what they've done to all of us for decades. And then I had a vision, and of what this meant. And there's like a kind of crackling intensity. It's like the atmosphere feels electric, even though there's nothing really tangible. And she reaches out and calls for Toulouse is in the crowd, and she calls for him to come forward and join her in front of the crowd. And he comes up, and she takes him by the hand, and she like grabs his arm and thrusts it up in the air, holding it. And this symbol is evident to all, right, as she reveals it. And she says, we were two the miasma is not its motives are not easy to divine, and as the instrument of the choosing of the survivor of the Frank, I have been privileged to be spoken to by this thing that represents all of our collective will, and it is again Toulouse who will lead us, but we cannot be content to merely send representatives. All of us, every man, every woman, every child within the sound of my voice, join me as we will go into the miasma and claim our birthright. And there you go.
And so the scene ends with just this whole crowd of people just walking into the miasma.
Yep.
I don't think Toulouse would go with.
Well, yeah, I think that it's kind of one of those things where it's like a little bit carnival, you know, like it's like she is actually it's a faction move, I believe. I am going to drag him down into demagoguery with me.
I like that. So now we get to figure out, does he survive a second time?
Well, yeah, I think we can leave it. It's like,
it's
the
question
camera's showing like this crowd of people winding down into as the sun sets in the distance.
I do like that. So yeah, we will pick that up next week. Figure out what on earth is going to happen to this huge crowd of people. And so I think
my power goes down to 0, right?
Yep, your power goes back down to 0.
Okay.
And we will pick that up next time. Anybody who is watching, thank you so very much for joining us. This and a bunch of other games are all run through the Gauntlet, which you can find out more about at gauntlet-rpg.com. If you hop on and sign up for some of the games, maybe I'll get to play with you soon. Who knows? Until then, I will see you soon. Bye, everyone.